welcome to this special episode of the Informing Choices Minipod, produced in collaboration with One Day in 2050. Ecofascism, Leviathan or Lifejacket of Humankind is a multi-author book featuring 36 top futurist voices who have come together to explore our climate future beyond purely climate data through the lens of ecofascism. But what is ecofascism? Ecofascism is a political ideology that merges elements of environmentalism with authoritarianism or fascism. It often involves a belief that environmental problems are caused by overpopulation, immigration, industrialization, and that these issues can be addressed through restrictive policies and even violence against marginalized groups. The premise for all the stories in the book is this. The year is 2050. Temperatures have risen by over 2 degrees Celsius. Global population has reached 9.8 billion. Pressure on natural systems is at its peak. A new global movement has arisen. A totalitarian system has been enforced based on the minimum climate footprint on every aspect of our society. Today, we welcome innovation designer and futurist Valentina Contini to talk about her chapter in the book. Valentina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Steve.
So your chapter, Survival of the Greenest, the Ecofascism Metaverse Games, is about challenging participants to revolutionise the perception of sustainability. Talk us briefly through your chapter. What's the story you're telling here?
The story I'm telling is, in a way, inspired by all the science fiction I've read in the past, and putting together my life as a gamer with a bit of inspiration from the Hunger Games, where you have a part of the population that uses other people games as entertainment, but also having an aspect of these games that is not just fun. You have in the Hunger Games, you have people actually dying during the game. Here you have actually people that are the losers that get resource rationing or some form of punishment in the real life. So I wanted also to bring this aspect of the metaverse coming and having effects on your real physical life and not just in the virtual world. So that's and the most important part is the sustainability aspect, because when we were all at home during COVID, we all spent a lot of time online. And when in the metaverse in that year, the word metaverse actually skyrocketed in interest because of we were putting our physical life in a virtual world. Yeah. But at that moment, no one was actually thinking that virtual worlds have a extremely much higher energy consumption than just a chat, for example, or your physical real life if you're sitting next to a person and talking to them. So there is always this double aspect. That yes, you're not moving, you're not going anywhere, so you're not polluting with your transportation, but at the same time, it's not like virtual worlds are absolutely emission-free. So I wanted to bring together these different aspects.
I really like that idea of kind of merging the virtual with the real and then exploring some of the implications of that through, I guess one of the things you were talking about that is gamification, and gamification being the way perhaps that you tease out some of those aspects.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So even when we are adults, we actually love to play games. Is independently, it doesn't have to be video games. I am passionate about video games, but each one of us loves games. And when a brand starts putting gamification in their experience with you, you tend to be more hooked than a brand that doesn't do it. So this is a way. So why don't we use gamification to make sustainability something we are hooked to? So that's also something I wanted to try to convey.
And for me, one of the interesting things about that, I was listening to the news yesterday, and there was a new study out that suggested that online gaming can actually improve cognition, which is
Absolutely,
really
absolutely.
interesting. Previously we thought it was just about physical exercise that could improve cognition. That doesn't do it, but playing video games does. Fascinating, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, video games are like my favorite topic because they were always seen when I grew up as like a waste of time, but
Yeah.
actually you can improve on many different aspects, like even strategic thinking. It depends also a lot on the game that you're playing, or hand-eye coordination, or the speed of your reflexes. You can improve many things with video games. It's just that it was when I was younger, it was so new that no one was thinking about it.
That's right. Less screen time for you. So I think you've started to touch on this, but what was your motivation behind the chapter in the book? Why did you, what drove you to change those topics, to choose those topics? Sorry.
Yeah, so I have two little kids, and for me, sustainability became much more important when I when I when I realized I had a responsibility towards them. It's about before it was like, yeah, okay, it's only me. Who cares what happens? But actually, when you think that I'm leaving them the world. It's not my word. Obviously, I don't own the
Yeah.
word, but I have an impact on it, and whatever I do has an impact. And sometimes it's for many people, and for me before, it was very unclear what actually is my impact. What that it's really difficult to understand that whatever I do, it has an impact on the planet. It has an impact that is emissions, that is even, if you want sustainability, not just from the ecological point of view, but also from social point of view, from economical point of view. So sustainability is a much bigger word. So I really started looking at it more in detail, and I think that it's my duty now to do as much as I can to leave a better world for my kids, and also other people's kids automatically.
Makes it very personal, isn't it?
It's kind of a personal motivation, yes. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So, what is it you want readers to do or to consider after reading your chapter?
I think that the main thing that I would like them to do is to try and look better at what they are doing, uh, and also understand that extremism is never good. So you have this. I understand. I understand that we cannot. We always think we cannot change the world, but actually, whatever we do has an impact on it. So in positive and in negative. So I think it's great. It's important that the people start being more mindful about it, and then also realizing that often when you go to the extreme, you come to the fine line where what you think it's positive for someone else or for the world could be negative.
Mm.
So I think it's what I would like the people to really understand, because sometimes we are so focused on our perspective that we see only, oh yeah, I'm doing something good. But if you see it from the perspective of someone else or something else, that something good is absolutely, it's not good at all. So that would be what I would like the people to realize and think more about.
It's kind of about building broader awareness, isn't it? And I think the whole book really is about that. So, on the one hand, there's this threat of a totalitarian system controlling every aspect of our lives, but it's out kind of teasing out. So, what is it we do to avoid that outcome, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So because if you look at that, so this totalitarian system is focusing on keeping the world, the ecological, mainly the aspect of the world, from totally crumbling, and maybe keeping us from extinction if you want,
Mm.
but that is at what cost? at what cost? We have no freedoms anymore. We cannot choose anymore by ourselves how we live our lives. So the question is a balance even possible? A balance between we don't care about what we're doing to the planet and to other people, and we just focus on saving the humanity from extinction, but at the same time, the quality of life is so bad that actually no one wants to be alive anymore. So what's the balance? Is there one?
That's a really nice question to end on, isn't it? I think, what's the balance? What's the right balance to make sure that humans survive and we have a healthy planet as well? Valentina,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for your time. That's been really fascinating. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to reading your chapter.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. Thank you very much. It was great talking to you.
And thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes about this new book. And of course, you'll also be able to catch up on all the episodes of the Informing Choices mini pod. Do let your friends and colleagues know about the podcast, and I'll be back with another episode very soon.